Welcome back to another Purple Rain pregame report.
Hmm.
And yeah, let's get into it. Welcome back, like I said, to another Purple Rain pregame report. Got a big game this week. Every game's big at this point, but going up against a 4-1 New York Giants. I got my head in different places. In MetLife, and we talked about that on Thursday. The field, and it's no surprise that certain Ravens players aren't playing. But first and foremost, before we get into any of that, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Yeah, if you want to just drop a follow, see what's going on, DM, shoot us all that good stuff. Follow this guy on Instagram, on Twitter, at Sutton Def. Follow me. Wait, by the way, are you doing the victorious tweets again today?
Yes, I will be doing this. Yeah.
Great entertainment. I highly suggest that. You can follow me on Twitter at SimplyAS10, on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. And yeah, we're back. And if you're new, like the video. And if you like it a lot and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe because we are on the road to 2.5 thousand subscribers. So that would mean the world. I think like 130 some off. So that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, how is your Sunday going so far?
My Sunday's going pretty great, man. I cannot complain thus far. Football Sundays just always feel good. You wake up in the morning, you smell the morning dew outside. I don't know if, that's not good. Doesn't go for everybody, I guess. But you just look outside. It's normally nice weather. And you just know that football is going to be on all day long from 1 o'clock to basically 10, 11 o'clock p.m. tonight. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. There's a lot of great games going on, not only just ours, of course, in that 4 p.m. window. We got the Bills and the Chiefs squaring off.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I hope, Alex, my prayer is that I can watch that game knowing that the Ravens already won for the week. And we're right there in the mix, and they're not like trashing us all throughout the broadcast. Like, the Ravens might not be in the playoff picture, yada, yada, yada. Yep. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping it's not one of those type of Sundays, but definitely feeling good about today, though. How about you?
Yeah, so am I. I actually got this next to me. Let me just throw it on. The Ravens Super Bowl hat, when we beat those same Giants, 34-7. Just kind of get the good mojo going early. It's an hour until kickoff. Get that going. But yeah, I see that Ravens fans did travel up to New York. So I'm expecting a good amount of Ravens fans there. A little bit of a home vibe. But yeah, I'm feeling good. They have a hell of a team. There's a reason they're 4-1. Great defense. And I was actually watching just some of the, the people talking, the experts. And we're not picked to win by a lot of people. Some people are picking us to win, but they're like, well, there is a chance that the Ravens could really lose this in the end. And I was thinking, the defense really needs to do their thing today because people are looking at that last game as a fluke because that's the only game we've actually shut down a team compared to other games. So it's a big game for the defense, I think, because this, Saquon, we know about him. But if we can make Daniel Jones, I talked about on Thursday, really uncomfortable, man, it could be a long game for their offense, a really long game.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. Rattle him early, make sure that he feels uncomfortable as possible. He's dealing with, a lack of receivers, to say the least. No Kadarius Toney, no Kenny Golladay today. Wan'Dale Robinson is playing as probably their number one option. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we got Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters at full strength today. And yeah, we'll see about that. But I do want to bring up a couple of comments from the chat real quick before you get to the inactives report. Lisa Ann is in the building, says, hey, Sutton, Def, and Alex. Lamar is almost at 1,100 yards, and will he break 4,000 yards?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you. We got our guy Seth in the building. Not on lunch break today. It's Sunday. I hope you're not at work.
Right. I love that.
It's Sunday. Hopefully he's kicking back and he's going to enjoy his day. He deserves it. Hardworking man. Seth says, bold prediction, defensive touchdown today. You know what was crazy? Simply as 10 predicted the same thing on the last episode of the show. Yeah. It's actually one of our PRP shorts, too. If you haven't checked out the PRP shorts, make sure you check those out. Those are good, too.
I think you should. That's coming up. Sorry. Yeah, you should. And with the whole defensive touchdown, depending when it comes, it could really be a tone setter or just a game ender. They could be a third quarter. It's a one possession game, and we get that defensive touchdown. It really just knocks the wind and just the life out of them. So hopefully it does come at the perfect time. I know it's a fumble 6, a scoop and score 6, away strip. Queen takes it back. First round. I would love that. It'd be big for both of them because Oweh and Queen have gotten their fair share of criticism, and it'd just be a nice little refresher and get them going for the season.
Yeah. Joshua brings up a good point here. Says shut down Saquon and stop that Wildcat. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be surprised if we see, Saquon Barkley taking direct snaps and doing, reads. Like it's just
looking like the 2008 Dolphins and Ronnie Brown. I will never forget them.
When they first introduced the Wildcat to the league, like it was crazy. It
was a fun time, but they're bringing it back, and the Packers couldn't stop it. And one thing about the Packers last week, it came out today, is that they couldn't throw the ball deep. Aaron Rodgers went 0 for 6 on his deep balls against the Giants because of his finger. He's dealing with like something going on. If we can hit them for a big play, Devin Duvernay, that could be a tone setter because he is our number one option, and I just am so excited for what he can do today. I don't know about you. I think like he can have just that big play. Lamar gets him on target because he missed him last week. Hits him this week. Oh, man, that would be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And maybe force the Giants because they have to throw the ball. Kind of like how people said about the Ravens that when we're down and we are forced to throw, we can't come back. We proved that wrong. But if we make the Giants do it, it'll be pretty nice.
Alex, let me ask you this real quick before you get into the inactives report. What do you think is most likely to happen today out of these 3 props?
Oh, okay.
A J.K. Dobbins rushing touchdown, a Lamar Jackson rushing touchdown, or a Devin Duvernay receiving touchdown? Which one of those is the most likely to happen today?
All of them. I'm kidding. But if there was one, I hope you got the meme. But if there was one of them, I'm going to go JK. And I don't think we'll be rushing Lamar that much. And I don't think JK will be on the field that much because of – we won't talk about it. But we know. We know. But I think if it's a short yardage situation, we'll let JK punch it in. But I think after that, then probably a Duvernay, because Duvernay already had 2 receiving touchdowns in MetLife. He knows how to work that field.
Facts.
But Duvernay could probably have more receiving touchdowns than most of either the Jets or Giants receivers, depending if it's 2 more today at that stadium. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm going to go with a JK, then a Duv, and then a Lamar. What about you?
I think that sounds about right, honestly. I might interchange the Lamar with the Duvernay thing. I think that Lamar Jackson will catch the Giants slipping on one of those read option keepers and just take it up the middle for maybe about a 20-yard scamper for a touchdown. That's what I'm feeling. But it's funny because my little brother, who actually likes to do like sports betting and things like that, he texted me early this morning. He was like, hey, who do you think is a lock to score for you guys today? And it made me think. I was like, I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins. I was agreeing with you. I think J.K. Dobbins is a lock to score. I think he's going to get a touchdown today. So yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah. J.K. Dobbins, I think that's a rushing touchdown from him is the most likely thing to happen. But yeah, let's go ahead. Now I'm going to get into J.K. Dobbins a little bit more too. But before we do that, I want to let you get into the inactives report. And you guys keep leaving your comments down below in the live chat. If you're not watching this live, you're part of the hashtag replay game. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Alex, the report.
Okay, so like you said, Leonard Williams and Wan'Dale Robinson are active, which I think is huge boost for the Giants. Leonard Williams, honestly, I think one of the most underrated players in the league. He is just a force, whether it be run stopping, getting to the quarterback, great football player. Hashtag come to the Ravens. Wan'Dale Robinson, rookie out of Kentucky, shifty, can do his thing, running the ball or catching the ball. As for their inactives, defensive back Cordell Flott, wide receiver Kenny Golladay, like you mentioned, safety Jason Pinnock, wide receiver Kadarius Toney, and outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari. And Tony Jefferson got placed on the IR, which means he is out for 4 games, so we will not be seeing him as a Giant today. And then moving on to the Ravens, I'm pretty sure we correctly talked about this on Thursday, that Justin Houston, Ben Cleveland, Rashad Bateman, and Justice Hill would be inactive. And the only other inactive, I believe, is Jalen Armour Davis. No Ty Spauser, no Jabo, no Gus Edwards. That was honestly expected at this point, but I want to touch on Armour Davis. The only way I think he's going to touch the field is if somebody does. Yeah. But outside of that, he was a 4th-round pick. I think he got picked over Tariq Woolen, who's doing amazing for the Seahawks. So the pick right now is looking a little questionable, but it's only his rookie year. Some things I am looking forward to. Somebody we called up from the practice squad last night. and I've been swooning over him for the past year. Darius Washington. Darius, I am so happy he's getting a chance to play. Probably most on special teams, but he can play safety, can play slot corner. Maybe we'll see more Marlon on the outside, and some Stevens and Darius mixed in there, and even some Pepe. But the secondary is looking good. Well, I think our biggest thing is just stopping this run, and that's why we have Brent Urban active, Madubuike, Travis Jones, Calais Campbell, all the big guys up front. So that was the Ravens inactives and Giants inactives. Any takeaways you got from there? Any make you feel any different about the game, or just feeling the same?
Well, yeah, just kind of circling back around to J.K. Dobbins. I mean, Justice Hill is out for yet another week. Gus Edwards is not back yet either. So I think that this is a game where you give J.K. Dobbins at least, at a bare minimum, 12 carries. Give him 12 carries. I mean, You've been ramping him up for, 2-3 weeks now? Give him his opportunity to have that big breakout game, get his confidence back, his confidence not only in himself, but, in the coaching staff too. Let this guy know that, hey, look, we're gonna ride you. Like, you are our guy, our running back number one. Because I feel like he doesn't feel like that way at this point, at this specific time and juncture, because last week he was outsnapped by Kenyon Drake. And again, part of the ramping up process. But listen, you got to start ramping up a little bit more. It's called progressive overload for my guys who work out, things like that. You have to be able to up the tempo each and every time you go in there, because if not, you're not going to get back to where you want to be. You're not going to get to where you want to be. So I think that's the biggest takeaway for me from this, inactives list. No Justice Hill for yet another week. Gus isn't back yet. Feed J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing, honestly, too. And one more thing is Ronnie Stanley. I think we can touch on this. We'll probably see Stanley McCarr, maybe Filele, but we're going to see alternation again, which I'm perfectly fine with. With the field, I really could care less about, how much Stanley plays, because I think he's going to get his time, get his snaps. So I'm cool with that. Are you expecting the same thing too, the rotation again?
Well, yeah. I mean, like we said, this ramping up process, and I got to give credit to the Ravens for doing this, because we saw what happened last year. We were devastated by, health issues, things like that. So now they are taking every single precaution in the book possible in order to make sure that these things don't happen again. They don't re-aggravate any of these guys' problems and things like that. So, yeah, I love it. So I definitely expect them to rotate McCarry with, Stanley, and then also Faalele as well.
Yeah. I do see Lisa asking, when will we see Charlie Kolar? He's not even back from the PRP, hasn't been activated. I mean, from the PUP, not the PRP. I'm sorry, it's already on my head. If anything, after the bye week, I actually was looking at our schedule. We have an extended bye week, because I believe we have the Thursday game, and then we play I think a Monday game after that. So we actually have 2 byes, because we have our bye week and then we have the Thursday to Monday game, which is really big. So that helps us a lot, and it helps our players out, like the Bowser, Ojabo, and Edwards, because they can get more time off, get back up to that game speed. So I would say probably in a month or so we could see Kolar, but even stuff like that. I mean, I'm excited for him to come back, because we have.
Wait a minute. Wait, our bye week is week 8, right?
Oh no, right here.
Because we got our Browns next week and then bye.
Oh no, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. So our bye week is it's after a Monday game. So we play Monday, have a bye week, and we play Sunday.
Which weeks are those?
So we're in week 6 right now. 7, 8. After week 9.
Okay. After week 9 is our bye. So week 10 is our bye.
And we have 13 days off, which is big. That'll
be big.
Yeah.
If we can make it to that stretch, at least somewhat relatively healthy, I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a 13-day break in the middle of the season is huge. That's amazing.
No doubt.
And I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
thank you guys.
Yeah. And I do see people bringing up some of the former Giant players, Jahad Ward, Jefferson, Justin Ellis. I know Wink was already talking to some of the defensive players in the field. A little bit of a homecoming for him, but I'm really hoping G-Ro cooks up something nice for Wink today. Man, that would really just get me going.
And what's another thing that I forgot to mention is this game is going to be so important for adjustments. The whole storyline going into this week is, Wink knows Lamar better than any other defensive coordinator in the league, which is true.
Yeah.
And it's by super default too. But at the same time, the Ravens know Wink better than any other team in the NFL because he's been with them for the past, 4 some odd years.
Yep.
So when this game starts, it's going to be one team trying to impose their game plan against another team who they think both of their game plans are going to work. Somebody's going to come out on top early in the first half, and then adjustments are going to have to be made. So if we start this game fast, Wink is going to make adjustments to try to get us to slow down, which means that we have to counter adjust in order to not get slowed down and finish this game, to close this game. That's what I'm worried about the most. I feel like this is the type of game where it could be a tale of two halves. And it's going to come down to maybe the last 6-7 minutes of the fourth quarter. Now, I know I predicted a 31-13 victory the other night, but I did some, I slept on that, and I did some thinking. And I'm thinking the game might be a little bit closer than that. And we'll have a lot to talk about. Yeah, I think the game is going to be closer because I feel like it's going to be a tale of two halves. One team is going to play really well in the first half. The other team is going to rally back in the second half, and we're going to have a good game by the time it's all said and done. So make adjustments.
A nail biter? Are we talking a nail biter?
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, if you know what I just went through with this team back here, all right? I just went through hell, all right? My heart can't take it. Oh, my goodness. Man.
Yeah.
I would – if it's like last week, man, I don't know how much I can deal with it, but I definitely think you're onto something there. I think it'll be closer now than 31-17 what I predicted. I'm thinking a one possession game. I don't know if it's 3 points or 7 points. I definitely think it'll be one possession. I think they have been a little disrespect to the Giants. They're 4-1. People aren't treating them as if they are 4-1, and they have something to prove. And they're playing a good team in the Ravens. They want to show like, okay, we beat the Packers, and then we're gonna beat the Ravens, and we're gonna show you that we're a good team.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those. I mean, because the Dolphins did the same thing. You think about it.
Yep.
Week 2. I mean, who did they play week 1? Who did the Dolphins beat week 1? I can't remember.
Patriots.
Yeah, they beat them, and everybody's like, Patriots aren't that great. They come in and they beat us. They beat the Ravens, and like, okay, the Dolphins are for real. So the Giants are kind of in that same spot right now, coming off of beating a Packers team in London. The Packers, they are good. That game was kind of the tale of two halves as well. They played well in the first half, but the Packers, they lack special talent outside of Aaron Rodgers. And if you don't have that, it can definitely be hard to close out games.
Yeah.
But this is their biggest test of the year so far, no doubt, against the Ravens. So I'm sure they want to win this game. I know we want to win this game, because we're tired of the disrespect. I know we are. But
and it is 45 minutes before game time.
Yes.
Definitely there is some trade talk going on. I would like to get into that as well with multiple teams around the league. Dylan, what's going on, my guy?
What's going on?
I did see somebody real quick bring up the Tennessee Bama game. Did you watch that yesterday?
I watched the highlights of the end of it. Yes.
I tell you what, that was the ugliest kick I've ever seen in my life.
It was,
but it somehow went in. I thought I thought it was gonna be short, and the fact that the Tennessee kids took the upright and threw it into the really.
How did they do that?
The crazy thing is they did all of that right, and at the same time, during a baseball game, not one run was scored. There was like an 18-inning game last night. It was a weird day for sports. But yeah, I don't know how they did that, but should go off to the Tennessee students. I'd be doing the same thing. You just beat you beat Alabama in football.
Right.
Congrats.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so you said you wanted to bring up the trade scenarios?
Yeah, I mean, there's one guy who I think a lot of people are talking about, the Ravens, wide receiver. I mean, what else will we be talking about? Robbie Anderson. It's looking like he's basically a lock to be moved. I remember I won him years ago when he was a free agent from the Jets. How do you feel about if he were to become a Raven? I mean,
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind it, but my only concern is this: we have a solid receiving core. Contrary to popular belief, I have full belief in Rashad Bateman once he gets back healthy, Devin Duvernay, Mark Andrews, hell, Demarcus Robinson. He's a vet. Demarcus Robinson is a vet, man. If he gets more opportunities, more looks his way, he can make some plays. So I just don't see the addition of a Robbie Anderson, a DJ Moore being that much of a change in our offense, because what we want to do. Our identity in the first place. We want to run the football. And when we do pass the football, we're looking for Mark Andrews, right? Yep. We're looking for Rashad Bateman while he's still cheap, right? And we can get the most return on investment from him. We're looking for our signings that we made in the offseason. Demarcus Robinson. We're looking for those type of guys. Duvernay's having a really good year. I just don't think the addition of one more, I guess you could say, you know how they have like let me say this. You know how, like Alex, they have A-list celebrities, B-list celebrities, C-list celebrities, that sort of thing.
Yep.
They rank them in that way.
Yep.
Robbie Anderson to me is a B-list wide receiver. High B-list, but a B-list wide receiver.
I go C. I go lower B, higher C. I mean,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair too. That's fair too.
I mean, I see what you're saying. Maybe with the Jets, but now like his fall off with the Panthers, dude. Like maybe it's because the quarterbacks he's had. But if I'm thinking like high B list, I'm thinking of a Gabriel Davis, I think, who can definitely be a superstar. I put a Bateman around that B list as well because that potential is there. Robbie Anderson won't move. It won't really move.
Right.
It won't move me, honest. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it. I wouldn't hate it because my only worry is that would he be taking away snaps from a Duvernay? That's my biggest worry. Or targets.
My thing is, like, at this point, if you're bringing in, you're signing another free agent wide receiver or just trading for one, whatever, you have to ask yourself this question: is this guy that we're bringing in better than Rashad Bateman? If the answer to that question is no, leave it alone. You know, that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, he'd be an upgrade on our number 3 receiver. I think that's where he'd be an upgrade. Outside of that, I mean, and just we'll be trading draft capital. Like I said, I wouldn't hate it. But maybe if Lamar pushes for it and it comes out, because they've practiced together. Robbie Anderson has simped to be a Raven, and I know that word isn't used a lot, but he really has. He's been on his hands and knees begging to be a Raven, whether it be working out with Lamar, exchanging a jersey with Lamar, saying that the Ravens should pay Lamar. Bro, you just want to be in purple and black. I get it. If he came here and wanted to play and wanted the ball out, then sure. But it's just the impact. I don't think it would be a major impact like we've seen from other receivers. It'd be hard, but it is better. He's better than the number 3 option now. That's what I'll say. He's an upgrade on.
And that's my thing. Like, how much opportunities, how much volume of targets is a wide receiver 3 going to get in Baltimore?
Right.
Right. I could see if it was Green Bay. I could see if it was the Bills. Like, teams that want to throw the football. But the Ravens, if they are throwing the football, they're going to tight end number 1 Mark Andrews. They're going to Rashad Bateman. They're going to Devin Duvernay. It's not. They don't even.
They're going to Pat Ricard.
You know what I mean? Like, so I just don't. I don't see that happening. Yeah, I just don't see that happening. But
now,
before we,
the only way, I'm sorry, real quick, if this Bateman word lingers, then I'm all for it. Let me just get out the way. If this is like a month and a half more, if he's put on IR, then I'm all for it. But if Bateman's gonna be back soon, then I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
it's rental.
That's fair. Man, that's fair. That's fair. Before we get out of here, let's just get some questions from you guys watching live right now. Anything that you guys want to ask about, today, if it's about fantasy football, who you should start, who you shouldn't start, anything.
Yeah, and the big fantasy football thing now, Cam Akers. He is looking like he's on his way out of LA. Disappointing start to the year. I actually have him in a couple of my fantasy leagues. Any thoughts on that? Cam Akers not being a Ram for much longer or playing another snap.
I mean, I have as much thoughts on that as I do Christian McCaffrey being put on the trade block. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the Ravens, we're not in dire need of a running back 1.
I was talking about in general, not the Ravens.
In general,
the Ravens should pursue them. Hell no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Not for the Ravens.
No, there's no point in giving capital for them.
Now, see, what I could see happening is something like this. Cam Akers to the Bills, Christian McCaffrey to the Bills. And if that happens, the landscape of the AFC changes. If they can balance out their offensive attack and not make it so boom or bust, then listen, the Bills are going to be scary, even scarier than they are right now. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I think about that.
I think a good place for McCaffrey if it wasn't the Bills. I know that the Rams wouldn't trade with the Niners, but I think the Niners, they have Jeff Wilson right now, but I think if they got like a McCaffrey, if they actually were willing to give up something, that would make them really good too, even with the Trey Lance coming back. But I think the Bills is like the best scenario for either of those running backs because that's what they're lacking. What's his James Cook? I know he fumbled. Zach Moss and Singletary, they really don't show anything. Get a proven guy.
Let me see. Somebody in here says, my guy Void says, do we dare run a screen on a 3rd and 15 against Wink Martindale? So, let's just set the scene real quick.
Okay.
Say it's 3rd down and 15. We're talking late first quarter. Giants are up 7-0, right? They come out, they get an early touchdown, whatever. 7-0. It's 3rd and 15. We're on our own 45-yard line.
Okay.
What do you want to call there? Not a screen, right? Definitely not a screen.
Because I don't think we have. It depends who it goes to. If it was Duvernay, maybe. Because we did see that play. He made something out of nothing last week.
He did, yeah.
But if it's like to a Wallace, to Marcus Robinson, then no. To a Mark Andrews, no. I don't think so. You know, when I'm thinking of this defense, I'm thinking of how Tua and the Dolphins cooked us last Thursday night. I know the offense wasn't good, but that defense was pretty bad too. I believe we let Albert Wilson, who was the worst graded receiver at that time last year, cook us. We were getting cooked by nobodies. Jacoby Brissett, Tua came in just doing our thing against us.
Yeah,
I think a screen will be called though. It will be called.
I hope not. I mean, I think that they should definitely, on 3rd and long situations like that, the screen is not going to cut it because all the defenders are playing the sticks. The DBs, most of them are playing the sticks. So I think that what you have to do is throw beyond the sticks, catch them flat-footed, run right by them. Lamar's going to have to fit it in a hole, but you got to have that sort of faith in your quarterback. Because I'll tell you one thing, a 3rd and 15 screen is not going to work too well in the playoffs. They will rally to that football like no other, and it'll be 4th and 7 before you know it, and you'll be punted.
Yep.
So throw beyond the sticks. Exactly. So, but thank you for your question, Void. I saw another question from Taquan Christian here. It says, who besides Duvernay will make plays in the wide receiver room today?
I don't want to say it because I feel like I say it all the time and it just never happens. But I'm going to say it.
Crochet.
Give it to me. Give me as much. Give it to me. Give me some James. I am always tuning into Channel 3, and it's just that one channel that, like, when it's on, it's on. But when it's off, it's just static, you know? And you don't want to lose that annoying static in your ear.
Yeah.
But damn it, give me. I just. He's got to be today, right? I don't want to be that guy saying it's got to be this one. It's got to, but, like, I feel like he can just come up with those short yardage, 5 yards. It's 2nd and 3, 5-yard catch, first down. I'm not expecting him to get these big plays, but, man, I was watching his SMU just yesterday. I'm like, we have this guy that I know that if he was in a different offense, he wouldn't be the superstar, but he'd be a contributing piece. It just frustrates me. Even Tylan Wallace. But if I'm being realistic, I think Tylan Wallace could make a big play today. I think we saw him get open. A little bit of miscommunication, but if he's given the opportunity again, he's not going to blow it. So give me a Tylan Wallace and give me like a 3rd down conversion in the red zone. I think would be a big play.
Okay. I like that. Man, give me DeMarcus Robinson. I got DeMarcus Robinson, honestly, probably scoring a touchdown today. Give me a DeMarcus Robinson touchdown. Sign me up for that.
Okay,
all right. We'll take a couple more questions here before we go ahead and get out of you guys' hair. Get ready for football Sunday. Let's see. Lisa Ann says, will Mandrews be a beast in this afternoon's game against the Giants? Here's the thing about Mark. I feel like the Giants are definitely scheming up to stop Mark Andrews. Wink Martindale knows that Mark Andrews can hurt the Giants defense more than almost any other player not named Lamar Jackson on the Ravens offense. So I think that it'll be a slightly quiet day for Mark. I do see him maybe getting like a short yardage touchdown, but no big yardage. I don't think we'll see any of that. But that's just me.
1 p.m. CBS, Mark Andrews.
You're right. I mean,
I think, but you make a completely valid point. Like, Wink knows that if he lets Mark Andrews feast, it's going to open up the whole offense for him to just
right.
Feast.
Exactly.
I think I do agree. I think a good stat line for him today: 5 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown. Nothing crazy, but look at what Kelsey did last week. I think he had 7 catches, 30 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, yeah.
That was the most Mickey Mouse 4 touchdown game ever, but it worked. But if Mark Andrews can move the chains, then it won't be his best game, but it'll be something that it needs to be done. Right, I did see somebody bring up Josh Oliver's season. I'll get behind that. He already got a touch. He got his first career touchdown against the Patriots. Give me another damn Josh Oliver touchdown. I would love that.
Okay. Shout out SG. GoMan says, how many sacks will Jason Pierre-Paul and OA combine for today? 0.5?
JPP against his old team got a sack against them when he was with the Bucks.
Oh yes,
I think he gets another sack today, and I think Owe will get the. I think give me 1.5, half for Owe with this little strip thing, and 1 for JPP.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna go one each, and even one each.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. We'll take one more here. Our guy King is in the house. What's going on, King 95? Appreciate you for pulling up, coming through. Says, will Kyle Hamilton actually be used like a first-round pick? That's a good question.
Nope.
No Marcus Williams.
I don't think he will. I think if anything, King like a third or a fourth. He won't be playing. I don't think he'll play 45 snaps a day. Maybe 15 to 25.
Yeah.
I don't.
But the thing is, though, like when you bring in these guys and you put them on like you don't play them for a large portion of the game, it slows down their growth. It does. So I mean, those 15 to 25 plays, I'm sure Kyle Hamilton's going to be feeling even more pressure to go out there and perform because he has limited opportunities. So hopefully he can take advantage of those opportunities. But I don't know. The development of him, we'll have to keep our eye on that because that is definitely going to be interesting. Definitely going to be interesting. We'll end it with this. Let's go ahead and end it with this one. SG says Chiefs, Bills, who wins?
I got the Chiefs. Chiefs. I think the Bills are a more complete team, but man, just Arrowhead. That's a hard place to play. I saw a funny meme. It was like the Chiefs defense, like it's the Lamborghini in like the Hut House. That's the linebackers in the Chiefs defense. Like everything outside of the linebackers and Chris Jones is really poor. But somehow the Chiefs always pull it out. They're never out of the game with 15 back there. I think he makes just one of those. He's going to make another throw that's going to break the internet, unfortunately. And I think he's going to win in the game. I'll give him the Chiefs by 3 points.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills in this one. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I feel like the Bills are pissed off at the Chiefs. They know what happened. They feel like they're the better team. They were the better team until the last 13 seconds of that game in the playoffs last year, the divisional game. Yeah, I mean, the Bills are going to be all over that today. I feel like it's still going to be a close game. It's going to be a very, very good game. But give me the Bills by 7 to 10 points, man. I feel like they pull it out on them. I think they do.
Yeah, and if they do, I think that could be one of the games where it just gets the Bills hype up even more, and it's like a game where the Chiefs kind of have to look at themselves in the mirror. I think they're missing some pieces. I think they'll make a trade at the deadline as well. But one game also I'm focused on is just to keep in the division, the Steelers and the Bucks, because we're about to play the Buccaneers. We're going to see what they're going to throw at the Steelers, who will have a banged up secondary. No Minka Fitzpatrick. I think no Levi Wallace. They're missing some guys all around. It could get ugly. It could get very ugly for the Steelers today.
Very well could, but this is going to be a good scouting report. That we have on the Bucks going into our matchup of 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, Thursday night. Thursday night, man.
Yeah, so we'll see about that, and we're going to see about that game today against the Giants, man. Hopefully, again, we are going to walk out with a W. My guy, The Don, is in the building, says Sutton Dev simply as 10. My guys, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you for coming through.
And one final thing, it just came out. Geno Stone is working as the starting safety today in defense.
There you have it. Yeah. It's Geno Stone season. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that the back end of that defense is going to get tested too early in the game. I feel like they're going to try to establish Saquon early, do that thing. But Geno Stone, I'm definitely expecting him to step up, make some plays, and be consistent, above all else. So and just stay disciplined.
Second round talent, we got him in the 7th round. He was considered one of the biggest drafts, the biggest steals of the 2020 draft.
Yeah.
He'll show it today. I have full faith in Geno.
Yeah. Hopefully the Ravens as a whole show up today and we walk out with a W. We will be seeing you guys this week to talk about that W, or, if not, an L or a tie. Who knows? We'll be back to talk about it regardless of what happens. Appreciate you guys for coming through to this episode of the Purple Rain pregame stream. Thank y'all so much. Make sure you like the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. You can follow this guy over here on Twitter at SimplyAs10, on Instagram at SimplyAs10.prod, or of course you can always subscribe to his YouTube channel, just Simply AS10. And then also, if you don't follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Go on Instagram, give us a follow. We love to see you guys in our Instagram. We also have a group chat, which I'm gonna start posting. I'm gonna start posting live, in that group chat while the games are on, because I want to stir the nest up. So
it goes crazy sometimes. There are some intelligent conversations that go on. No sarcasm. Yeah. Some good back and forth. Differing opinions, but kept respectable.
Right. Exactly. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out. You guys enjoy football.
Thank you for coming through. Oh, not even an episode. The Purple Rain pregame report. Hopefully we come back with a nice big fat W. Go 4-2, and we would be I think 3-0 on the road. So no 4-0 3-0 on the road. Yeah, go 3-0 on the road. That'd be great. And Lamar Jackson's never lost to an NFC team, so let's hope he keeps that up today. And we will see you this week. And as always, stay positive, test negative,
and never ever forget to call God. We're gonna catch you guys in the next one.